Good morning, this is Ryan Richards, CSCS and FMS from the Sun and Alp Golf Club in beautiful Edwards, Colorado. Today we're demonstrating the kettlebell get-up, and I'm going to discuss briefly why this is important. I'm going to show you the get-up from the top to the bottom, and then we're going to break it down into its subtleties and common pitfalls and how you can program this into your fitness routine. Kettlebell get-up is one of the fundamental foundational movements that I teach here at the golf club and to my clientele. It's great because it's from the ground up. And as we develop as children, we have to learn to get up off of the ground into a standing position. So this is a great corrective exercise as well that's self-limiting. It builds shoulder stability, core stability and mobility, and hip drive and leg strength. So without further ado, I'm going to demonstrate the kettlebell get-up from the ground up. So we're going to break this down now step by step, and I'm also going to show you what the common pitfalls are for the novice when they're performing the get-up. First thing you need to do is get in a fetal position. And the reason this is so important is it keeps the bell close to the fulcrum or your shoulder joint to protect it from injury. You never want to try to lift the bell far from the body. So you want to get into a fetal position, grip the bell with a nice straight wrist, and never bend your wrist. As you grab the bell, use both hands to roll onto your back. You're going to bend the same knee in which you're holding the kettlebell with. So right hand, right knee. The left leg is long, slightly out to the side of the body. You want to make sure you take your arm, your free arm, 45 degrees away, and then you're going to push the bell up overhead, and you're going to lock the elbow out. It's very important during the movement to keep the arm vertical and perpendicular to the ground. The first step is to find your elbow. You want to make sure that in this position, your chest is up, not rounded back. Really pick your chest up to the sky. So this is correct, this is bad. Correct, bad. The next step in the movement is to find your hand. Same thing. You don't want to be crouched down with your neck. You want to pick your chest up and your head back. Once you get into this position, it's really important to pack your shoulder down, take this left leg, and you're just going to sweep it right underneath your hips. Okay, again, you're going to sweep the knee right under the hip, and at this point, your knee, your hand, and your leading foot should make a nice triangle. You're pushing the bell straight up. Now you square your body up, straighten your legs, and you're going to lunge right up. At this point, your arm's completely vertical, and then you reverse the pattern. Find the ground, find your hand, sweep the leg, find the elbow to the ground. As a novice, when you're beginning to practice the get-up, it's highly advisable to use a shoe. I learned this from Brett Jones, Master RKC, and it is a great way to learn the movement because there's no consequence. Because if you drop it, you're just dropping a shoe on your head. And it also requires extremely careful control because of the lack of weight. If you're not aligned and you're not balanced, you will not be able to maintain shoe contact with the fist. Here we go.
typically after you own doing the get up with the shoe, it's highly advisable for men. Most average men should start with a 16 kilogram kettlebell. That's 35 pounds. Most women I recommend starting with the 12 kilogram bell. Also, as men progress, the 24 kilogram, which is 53 pounds, is kind of the standard issue for all-purpose kettlebell training. And then the next jump up from that to the 28 kilogram, and then you also have a 32 kilogram, which is 70 pounds here, and there's also an 88 pound and a 106 pound, or 40 and 48 kilogram respectively. But before you progress to heavy bells, practice for long periods of time with light bells, and you have to own it. You've got to make sure the movements are crisp and solid before you move on to a heavier bell. Thanks for joining us today. We'll talk again soon.